From Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. This is from rule number 2. Rule number 2 is treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. And this is the part, the oldest story in the nature of the world. Two stories of creation from two different Middle Eastern sources appear to be woven together in the Genesis account. In the chronologically but first historically more recent account, known as the priestly, God created the cosmos using his divine word, speaking light, water, and land into existence, following that with the plants and the heavenly bodies. Then he created birds and animals and fish, again employing speech. It ended with man, male, and female, both somehow formed in his image. That all happens in Genesis 1. In the second, older Jahist version, we find another origin account, including Adam and Eve, where the details of creation differ somewhat, as well as the stories of Cain and Abel, Noah and the Tower of Babel, that is Genesis 2 to 11. To understand Genesis 1, the priestly story, with its insistence on speech as the fundamental creative force, it is very necessary to review a few fundamental ancient assumptions. These are marked different in type and intent from the assumptions of science, which are, historically speaking, quite novel. I know this works good with my reading style, right? Scientific truths were made explicit a mere 500 years ago with the work of Francis Bacon, René Descartes, and Isaac Newton. In whatever manner our forebears viewed the world prior to that, it was not through a scientific lens, any more than they could view the moon and the stars through the glass lens of the equally recent telescope. Because we are so scientific now and so determinedly materialistic, it is very difficult for us to even understand that other ways of seeing can and do exist. But those who existed during the distant time in which the foundational epochs of our culture emerged were much more concerned with the actions that dictated survival and with interpreting the world in a manner commensurate with that goal than with anything approximating what we now understand as objective truth. Before the dawn of the scientific worldview, reality was constructed differently. Being was understood as a place of action, not a place of things. It was understood as something more akin to story or drama. That story or drama was living, subjective experience as it manifests itself moment to moment in the consciousness of every living person. It was something similar to the stories we tell each other about our lives and their personal significance, something similar to the happenings that novelists describe when they capture existence in the pages of their books. Subjective experience that includes familiar objects such as trees and clouds, primarily objective in their existence, but also, and more importantly, such things as emotions and dreams, as well as hunger, thirst, and pain. It is such things experienced personally that are most fundamental elements of human life, from the archaic, dramatic perspective, and they are not easily reducible to the detached and objective, even by the modern reductionist, materialist mind. Take pain, for example, subjective pain. That's something so real no argument can stand against it. Everyone acts as if their pain is real, ultimately, finally real. Pain matters more than matter matters. It is for this reason, I believe, that so many of the world's traditions regard the suffering attendant upon existence as irreducible truth of being. In any case, that which we subjectively experience can be likened much more to a novel or a movie than to a scientific description of physical reality. I concur. It is the drama of lived experience, the unique, tragic, personal death of your father compared to the objective death listed in the hospital records, the pain of your first love, the despair of dashed hopes, the joy attendant upon a child's success. That was from Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. That was rule number 2. Taking care of yourself as if you're taking care of somebody that you actually care about. That little brief portion was about materialistic society and seeing yourself in your life as a book or a novel and not just like a scientific piece of matter. So, my name is Gregory Brand. If you enjoyed that reading, click the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and check out my book. It's called Gonzo Education. Thanks for your time.